This is Walt Disney. I would like to welcome all of you to the Park Streamers Hangout tonight. Bob, Danny, and Cordy are dear friends, and I know they have an amazing podcast for you. So thanks for joining us tonight, and enjoy the show.
Well, hello everybody. Happy Monday to you, and happy Park Streamers Hangout. I think we're on episode 17, if I'm not mistaken. We're on 18 now.
18. My goodness.
So welcome everybody. I think we've all kind of had busy weekends one way or another, but we're happy to be here today. So we just want to start off with introducing everybody here. I think you know everybody, but just in case. So am I pointing the right way? Over here, we've got Theme Park Casual.
The other side.
Okay, that way. Go opposite.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, all of them at Theme Park Casual. So I hope to see you guys all out there. I'm actually having really fun on Twitter right now. So it's usually not the funnest place, but right now I'm having fun with it. So
you color me intrigued. All right, so down below we've got Berry Place 28.
Hey everyone, you can reach me at Berry Place 28 on X, Facebook, Twitter. Oh, I said Twitter already. That's X. Instagram and YouTube, and next to Space Mountain.
And I am Cordy in California. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. All right, so we have a fun-filled show for you today. A lot of things happening. I think as we get into the year, right, as we get towards summer, we start to have some, a lot of activity at the parks. So we want to start out with something that I think we're all really anxious to see, right, at Walt Disney World, and then soon after that at Disneyland. But, we've gotten previews of the Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the Animatronics. So we thought we'd start off with that and take a look at what's going on.
Sure. Let me go ahead and bring up the video for everyone here. So this is the We Call It Imagineering YouTube video. Walt Disney Imagineering has their own YouTube site, which is awesome. And this is, we're going to not show you the whole thing, but this is all about the audio animatronics that they're building, especially the ones for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So here we go.
What Walt Disney Imagineering does is right there in its name. Imagineering, which is a combination of imagination, the creative side, and engineering, the technical side. You bring storytelling and technology together, and that's what you get at Walt Disney Imagineering.
Rob, Heather, how did the two of you work together to make this masterpiece?
Well, we battle.
I was going to say dance.
It's a collaborative dance, yes. There's a lot of back and forth. I will get to create a performance and it looks great to me, and Heather comes along and puts the costume on it after the fact, and then I can no longer do exactly as I've been doing. If I'm trying to create a bit of movement in the wrist, maybe, it might obstruct the costume might obstruct the animation. I might change the animation, Heather might change the costume. It's both things working in balance.
Particularly on more difficult areas like an elbow or a wrist. There's a small motor, there's a lot of animation, that's where a lot of the life comes from, but the costumes can be restrictive. So we have to work back and forth with each other to make sure that we can clear all those things and bring the character the life it needs and still maintain a good costume.
Her wrist will actually involve, I think, 3 motors. A twist going this way, and buried up here, we've got 2 motors that will give us the back and forth this way and this way.
I'll come back in and go, yeah, that's great animation, but then you can't quite make this happen because she's got her shell, she's got her costume, it's gonna bind. So then we work together and maybe he backs off a little bit, I give a little bit, we end up with a beautiful dance.
Walt Disney still inspires us to this.
So I'm going to fast forward so we can see some of the other little characters they have. So this is Lewis.
I'm Sonny. I work in service development. Right now, I'm working on Lewis.
How do you go about creating something as large as Lewis?
He is one of the largest and most dynamic figures we've built to date. There's a lot of moving parts. You know, we've got this area that moves, this area that moves. So you have all of these layers. And you got fabric, and they all have to be like in sync. So this falls down into here, this falls down into here, this comes up together there. That all covers the motors, but as he's bouncing up and down, they're all moving in sync. But it also keeps the support of the costume and lets the costume ride over that because all of these are animated. It's all part of this functionality. In the past, we've had hydraulic, pneumatic, but he is a fully electric figure, so the tolerances and the movement that we're getting from these electric motors is spot on. So we're using a lot of new materials to create and bring these characters to life using what new technologies we have. I mean, we're able to do a lifelike look.
That's the Disney difference. I love that. So, Pascal, I would love to know a bit more about how you kind of get Lewis to work.
I'm a figure programmer, and the figure programmer is the Imagineer who trains the figure. We make sure that the figure is mechanically ready, all the cables are properly placed, every shell cannot collide, and once that's ready, I can make sure that the figure actually can properly move, so the figure can get all the range to make sure that everything that we are designing every step of the way is true to the creative vision. One of the important ones is also like the head turn. So we will come here during our checkout and we will make sure that actually Lewis can move. Let me show you this. Hey, Lewis, I just want to check that your neck is all right. So we will have Lewis playing a part of his show, but only with those actuators. So we can test that everything is working nice with him and he can actually perform his show. So when we put the costume on, we will repeat the process again. This Lewis actually is going to be the first Lewis that our guests will see when they go down the bayou. Let me show you a little bit. It's not completed yet, but he is going to start greeting our guests and telling us, hey, I'm hearing all this music here. And that's why he's such a complicated figure, right? We're moving all this massive body with just keeping up with the music of New Orleans.
So, Jess, can you tell me about how you actuate very detailed type of...
Go ahead and pause it, see if I think Lewis might be the last one because they just only showed Mama Odie. So, yep. So that's basically, what they showed. And obviously there's been clips and you've seen them all over YouTube and TikTok and it seems like everywhere. But I don't know about you guys, but one of my favorites is Mama Odie. I think she looks spot on and looks amazing.
Yeah, I think that one partially it's because the glasses. So there's not the big cartoony eyes that the other human characters have. So it really kind of mask the cartoony aspect of it. And yeah, when you see her moving, it's almost creepy how well she moves. It looks, I mean, it's talk about lifelike. That's what's crazy. So and even just watching the thing right there with Lewis with all the different parts. And when you see him, when he's moving the neck and it's all the different pieces that are sliding around together, it's pretty impressive. You've got to say that these figures are not America Sings era animatronics. So this could be something that's pretty spectacular in the ride. I'm hoping that it is. The one thing I do caution is that at least at Disneyland Splash Mountain, the logs are moving pretty quick through most of the scenes. And so going through before, you were like whipping your head around to try to catch all the different characters, and you usually only had a few seconds to watch. So I'm hoping that we're able to see and feel all of this incredible movement that they've spent the time and money to put in. I'm hoping it's not the kind of thing where you see, a quick hand move like that, and then you're already past Lewis and you don't get to see all of his neck and the movements that he's able to do. So I'm hoping that they're placed properly so that you can get a decent amount of time of watching them.
I'm going to come back to Lewis, but Cordy, what'd you think?
Just kind of thinking about, I know we've talked about that before, the cartoony look, right? Like it's a little exaggerated. But then in thinking of when this is in the ride or in the attraction, right? Like it's almost like when you're performing on stage, right? The makeup is exaggerated because
the distance and everything. Yeah.
So you kind of have to. So I don't know if that was part of the reason that they did it, but it was just something that kind of popped in my head just now, thinking of, that may be part of it, because when you were saying how in Splash Mountain we kind of went through pretty quickly, right? So you're like, okay, turn.
Mm-hmm.
So if the features are exaggerated, it's kind of, that perspective, right? You're like, oh, okay, I saw more than, it feels like you saw more, right? That you spent more time looking at that scene. So I don't know, maybe.
So, and I don't know if you noticed or heard in that video, but they said, well, that's the first Lewis that you're going to see as he greets and is talking to everyone. So it kind of makes you wonder, is he going to be telling the story? Kind of like, how Sebastian tells the story in Little Mermaid. Is he going to be coming out and kind of greeting everyone, talking to everyone? And as we go through it, we see more of the story. I don't know. It makes me wonder if that's what they're planning on doing.
Well, yeah, I'm curious where he's going to be placed, because, like you said, yeah, he's the first one you see, but that doesn't necessarily mean on the ride. It could be a Buzz Lightyear or a Mr. Potato Head situation where he is at a spot where he can kind of start to give you the story and start telling you what you're about to experience and what's going on, but not actually in the ride. So you do have time to watch and see all the movement and everything the way you would with a Mr. Potato Head or the Buzz Lightyear.
True.
So that could be what that one is.
Where are they going to put that?
They'll find a way. I mean, technically, if you figure at Disneyland, when you go up the stairs, you've got that landing that looks over. They could enclose some of that and put them in there.
Mm-hmm.
That would be, still close enough for everybody to get a good look at him, and it's possibly a decent amount of time. You might have a couple minutes there waiting in line, and it would be far enough away that people wouldn't be able to grab him or anything like that. That's just a quick off the cuff idea.
So I think one of the other things they did is they also showed a bunch of the new characters. And I know we didn't see all those characters as far as the animatronics, but let me share my screen with you from the Disney blogs, because it actually shows 6 new characters they have. So we have Octavia, looks like it's a bobcat, an older bobcat, Pawpaw. You got Claude, who's a bear. You got another bear named Bernadette. You got the younger bear, Sebastian, and then you've got, is that a fox? Coyote? What is that?
Maybe a fox?
Pina? I don't know.
Does it say down there?
Wait, it says right here. It's a gray fox. Pina, the gray fox. So yeah, so you got black bears, you got the gray fox, and you got the bobcats. So those are some new characters. It looks like they're going to be playing instruments while you're on the ride and performing for you. Who knows if that's happening during the ride or is that happening at the end? It looks like probably during the ride, I would think.
Yeah, I remember them having some little scene where there's Tiana, and then off on the side there's like a little dock or something like that, and there's a bunch of the animals kind of hanging out there. I can't remember if they had instruments or not, but.
And then they also showed the new poster for the Walt Disney World Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I was about ready to say the same thing.
It's a terrible, terrible attraction poster.
It's to me. I mean, I know they're trying to make it look fun with Mama Odie and the animals and Lewis there, playing instruments. And what's interesting is it looks like they got a couple fireflies. Neither one are Ray, obviously, because he's no longer with us. But I love the way the Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the logo looks. But then you look at the mountain. And of course, it's not supposed to be a mountain because it's supposed to be a salt mine, but it doesn't look like that. And I know this is just an animation drawing, but there she is in her outfit. She's kind of blocking the water, and I've heard some people talk about why is she blocking the water. That's the main part of the attraction.
Yeah.
That should be part of the fun. Like in Splash Mountain, they had Brer Fox, Brer Bear, and Brer Rabbit in a log, splashing down, getting wet. You knew it was a water ride. Here, you're like, okay, is this it's Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but is it a water ride or not?
Right.
And then of course you've got her restaurant and down below. But I don't know.
Yeah,
To
just
me,
mixing
this-
even mixing the illustration styles is weird.
It's
like pick one or the other and go with it, And then for me, if you look back at the classic attraction posters, the really great ones, what do? They show you people on the ride. They show you the ride in motion, what you're going to be dealing with the attraction. You look at the Splash Mountain, it's got them all in the log at the big splash. You look at Thunder Mountain, it's got the people in the train rollicking, rolling all over the mountain. Space Mountain, it had people in it. It's just, I just don't get where this. I could see this one as a promotional piece, but not the official attraction poster. That's the thing.
And I don't know about you, Cordy, but I'm kind of hoping that maybe this, like Danny said, this is just a promotional piece that they're throwing out there, and then they'll have the official one, later that looks a lot better.
That's what I was thinking. It doesn't look like an official one. Like it looks like something, I don't know, like they might hand us.
Right. That's what I said. It's like a promotional piece. Yeah.
Those little,
Well, the other thing is too, look at the bottom. In Walt Disney World, this is going to be in Frontierland, where here it's considered New Orleans. So for us, it fits better. But they're playing the song, down in New Orleans on the outside of the ride in Frontierland. I don't know. It's just weird.
We had a couple of comments and questions about like a nod to Critter Country, some MBs, and then also I think Paul. So the animals are there to make the attraction qualify for Critter Country. So I think we did hear that there would be, right? Or is that just something we've all talked about? But I thought that we were pretty sure they were going to leave some of those, right, little Easter eggs in there and of course repurpose.
So one of the things I just read today is that right now they are not repurposing any of the Splash Mountain, animatronics and or anything from that. I'm sure they're going to. I'm sure we'll find something. They've got to leave something behind. But I'm just kind of hoping that they do have some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike Wheeler said, actually, I think Disneyland, it's still in Critter Country. They're not changing zones. So thanks, Mike.
Yeah, and I think that's to Paul. I believe he's the one who said it, that they're kind of cramming the critters in there to qualify for Critter Country. And he also mentions that the whole. Let me see. I just find the whole intended mythology of Tiana is kind of flaky. You have Tiana from the movie and animals and lots of food. And it is kind of a. But this is the problem when you're taking an existing attraction, leaving it fundamentally the same attraction, and just giving it new decoration. It's tough to shoehorn in something that it wasn't supposed to be that at the beginning. I have the same issue with Guardians of the Galaxy at DCA. You shoehorned it into this building, and so much of it doesn't work simply because it wasn't meant to be that. So you had to figure out a way to force it into that. And so you had to come up with, in Tiana's case, you have to come up with this backstory and this other thing going on. And, it's a different part of her life kind of thing. And it feels like such a stretch that it's, I mean, everybody's going to go on. It's a log ride. Everybody's going to have fun. The animatronics are going to be amazing. And who knows, it may end up coming together just fine. But from what we know now, it just feels very very much one of those things where it's like you're trying too hard at something that you never should have even been trying for, personally.
Right. Oh, speaking of which, you guys have brought up, let me bring it up here. The pictures for, there's the picture right there with Tiana and the critters playing on the platform next to her. So kind of, I don't know if this is what it's going to be like, but this is kind of a picture of, what it, I guess, a rendering of what it might be like inside the ride. So
yeah, I don't know.
One of the other things I thought was interesting too is, and I know this is kind of a joke that someone put out there on the internet, but they've got the new building and this is the artwork they put on the outside, and someone put kids artwork next to it, and it kind of, I hate to say it, but it kind of looks like that. It's not a very, I don't know. To me, this is not the building I would expect to walk into, going onto this ride. I don't know. To me, it seemed it would be cool if you walked into Tiana's restaurant and found out what's happening and why we're going to go on this adventure. And then it leads to the, salt mine that we're going to go on this adventure or something like that. Not sure what this building is. In fact, I'm trying to hard, it just says main entrance. So I don't know. This artwork to me doesn't really go well with the
yeah.
ride.
I mean,
again,
what is the main entrance? I mean, is this, a wonderful factory tour kind of thing? You know what I mean?
Hey,
this is supposed to be a salt mine. It just seems so weird. Like I said, maybe when it's all done, it'll make sense. But from this point of view, right now, it's not making sense to me. And I'm not even trying to be, a hater or anything. I'm literally just trying to, I'm looking at everything that Disney in the past has trained us to look for, trained us to think about. And this seems to be flying in the face of it at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem I have. It's like, it's not that, I don't want a Tiana ride or whatever. I just don't understand what they're doing with what we're seeing.
Yeah. Also, I was kind of wondering, they brought this for Walt Disney World, and I was kind of thinking, well, are they trying to do this because look, if you look at the picture of Tiana on the left-hand side, she looks like she's in Frontierland, the way she's kind of dressed up, and then the other side looks like what she'd be dressed in, in New Orleans kind of, but, with a jacket or not. Well, they just had a jacket, but I was wondering if they're going to do something like that and just keep her, more like, the Frontierland style. But obviously we've seen the animatronics, but they haven't really said which animatronics are for what. They just said, oh, here's the animatronics that we're going to be putting out for Tiana's Bayou adventure. So who knows? I wonder if they're going to have some different animatronics for the different locations.
So Mimby's asked if she wonders if there will be a scary element in the ride like there was with Splash. And didn't we I think we talked about that in a past episode, that wasn't really kind of what we heard, right?
Yeah, there is no, from what we understand, this is post movie, so therefore Facilier and all of that whole aspect is not available. Basically, the story would not allow it because it's in the past. That would be bringing in a character that has already met his demise. Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Do you think they give us a new villain to go just with the ride?
I don't know. That's the thing. It's like, but they could turn it to have the splashdown be the exciting, fun part, and rather than go with a doom and gloom kind of thing, like, oh my God, we're going to go down this thing. It's like, we're getting ready. This is the big moment. You've all been waiting for it. This is going to be the funnest thing in your life, and woohoo! They could go with that angle, and that's perfectly fine.
They could,
but I think there's, if you look at some of the comments online, people are kind of like, they were expecting a Facilier climb to, friends on the other side kind of thing. And
yeah,
perhaps that's too obvious. Maybe, people, and I know there's a lot of Imagineers that don't like the book report style attractions, which is fine. that's an opinion. It's valid that it's like, I saw the movie. I don't need to have somebody just replay the movie in front of me. Okay. So they come up with these other, ways to extend the characters, the franchise, the stories. And this is what we're getting. And like I said, from where we're sitting right now, it just doesn't make sense to me. But I also have not seen the full effect, been through the queue, gone on the ride, and, experienced everything the way they want me to see it. So I'm going to reserve judgment. Like I said, for me, I'm just looking at the different pieces that we've seen, and a lot of them seem to go against what the tried and true philosophy of Imagineering has been throughout the years for the great attractions.
So Mike Wheeler said the lift of the final drop is Mama Odie's area.
Right. So it could be a, getting you ready for a fun time kind of thing. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we will we'll keep our eye on what's going on and bring you, any breaking news that we find. So I'll be really I'm really interested to see what Walt Disney shows us, right? What we get to see there. And I know it'll be different, but at least we'll kind of have a little bit of an idea of what they're
Yeah, I mean, little by little. I mean, we're going to see Disney World first. So that's going to have, a little bit of a different effect on those of us here on the West Coast, in that, we'll kind of see what we're going to be getting.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting at that point, because we're not going to be able to go into it completely blind. Let's put it that way. So, it's
So Terry says 8:30 p.m. here in California. Feed the cat; it's hungry. Sorry, that was my cat. It's my wife is in the other room, and she shut the door since I'm on the podcast, and so it's like, oh, I went in. So she's just waiting to get into the room. But thanks, Terry.
All right. So I think something that's going on right now. We're going to move on into Star Wars Season of the Force. Pretty busy weekend. Friday was the first day, and we changed over to Hyperspace Mountain. We got our new scenes. It was interesting, the Star Tours. New scenes for Star Tours.
I haven't seen them, so
that's why I said they're interesting. And fireworks were to start on Friday, but weather permitting. Lots of foods, lots of merch. So we're going to dive right into that and kind of go through some of the goings on this weekend. I don't know if we want to start with, I don't know if you had anything.
I think we should start with the cutest thing, and that's the droids. I mean, those things are so awesome. So this is from Theme Park Casual's Twitter page. I'm going to bring it up. It gives me just a moment to do that. I think it's pretty awesome and pretty cool. And I think he got a really great shot of these droids. Let me share this with you, and I'm going to blow this up. And here we go.
Okay, you can. Show me your dance. Oh, great job. You love to shake it. Shimmy it. As long as you're facing that way, okay? All right.
And for only $2,000, you can have your own version.
I'm pretty sure those are a little more than $2,000.
I know.
A little more than that. But yeah, seriously, those little guys are absolutely adorable. They are the cutest little things. You are captivated the entire time that they are around you. And if you could see the crowd that was surrounding everybody, I happened to kind of catch them as they were moving along. So I was able to get a front row spot right there, but they come all the way around from like where the droid factory, over on that side where the restrooms, they come out from over there, come all the way across, and then make their way over to the garage area where the land speeders are. And so they basically make that whole little trek all the way around, and then they kind of hang out in the garage area again, let people, they kind of walk around, do their little things. In fact, one of them, when it was time to go, the little green guy, one of the land speeders has like the two fins that stick out. And so he goes and gets in front of it, squats down and backs up underneath in there. And so she calls out his name, and she looks and she's all, "Are you hiding?" And he shakes his head, no. And it's like, it's just the cutest little thing. I mean, they're so fantastic. And I was telling Bob and Cordy earlier that part of what this land needs is that life. Those things that are moving around, those fantastical moments of things you don't get to see every day, you know. And this was one of those things where everybody just enthralled, and everybody was a little kid when those things were walking around. Let's just put it that way. Everybody was grinning. Everybody was taking pictures. Everybody was laughing and giggling at every little thing that they were doing. It wasn't just, you know, something for the kids, you know, okay, yeah, go check it out. It's, you know, stupid for me. No, it's all the adults were there. Everybody was watching them and just enthralled the whole time. And here's the other thing. While these guys were coming out, Kylo Ren and the Stormtroopers were out just off to the side. Sabine Wren had come out early, just a little while before that. Chewbacca and Rey were walking through the marketplace. We saw Boba Fett. There was just a ton of life happening in Galaxy's Edge, and it felt, I think for the first time for me, the entire land was coming alive, and it was feeling like, oh my God, I'm in Star Wars. And these are a lot of characters, you know, the droids, they're brand new. They're not, you know, oh, I remember them from the movie or nothing. No. Sabine Wren, I couldn't even, you can ask the chat. I didn't even know how to pronounce her name. You know, so it's the kind of thing where it's like, they just need this stuff to be happening so that this land can reach its real potential. Mm-hmm. Because it's been just a kind of a blah pass through. You go on the ride, you might grab a drink or a snack, and then you're on to the next land. You're not really hanging out there too long. And this is the kind of thing where it was, I could see myself, you know, with this kind of life happening. If it was going like that the whole time, there would be days where I would be happy to go grab a coffee and go sit on one of the tables and just watch all the kids and everybody interacting with all the characters and everything. So I really hope that this is the start of something, and it's not just this, you know, little 6-week season of the Force and then everything goes quiet again. I really hope they don't do that, because this is the start of where this land needs to go. That's my opinion. I don't know if you guys have been able to catch any of the interactions with the characters like that when there's that many of them. Like I said, there was literally, you know, like half a dozen characters feeling like they were all out, and there was like crowds around each one, which made it great.
Yeah, no, they need more of that. I don't get there very early enough to see that a lot of times, but I would love to see the droids. And even Terry commented earlier, versions in the gift shop for the holiday shopping season for sure, which is true, right? Definitely.
Well, I believe they do sell the BD1 droids, don't they? I think they have those.
But they could like maximize that. They could, like, he's like, you know, holiday. You could have
not that good.
Yeah, I mean, but they need to be able to, you know, capitalize on this, because, like I said, this is the start of something. It feels like this is where the land was supposed to go, and I think just all of the, you know, 2020 and all of that stuff that happened just kind of threw everything to, you know, just put it in chaos, and, you know, had to pull things to a grinding stop. And then you have, you know, what happened in Florida with the Galactic Star Cruiser messing things up over there. It was just a ton of money that they wasted. But this is where this land was supposed to go, and there's a lot of potential there now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these are the droids we're looking for.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, you guys have no idea how cute they are. I mean, seeing them on video is one thing, but when you're there and you're seeing it, it is just like, and somebody in the Twitter comments said, you know, how do they make sure nobody wants to get, or how do they make sure nobody goes over and kicks them? And I'm like, when you see them, you don't have any thoughts of that. There is none of it's, I want to go give them a hug. I want to go pat them on the head. I want them, I want to feel what it feels like if they walk all on my back, kind of thing. It's like, that kind of thing. It's like you want to go play with them. You don't want to kick them. There's none of that. Not to mention there's like probably like 6 extra security people, and they are not very shy about telling you where to stand when the droids are walking by. They were, sir, can I have you stand behind that line right there where they're going to be coming across? I need everybody behind this crack, please. Thank you. Everybody. They were serious about it. But what was cool was the droids did feel like they were getting right up close to everybody. And, it wasn't like, you got to be way back over here and whatever. No, the droids were, just a few feet away from you.
How tall are these droids, by the way? Because I haven't seen them in person.
They're only about 2 feet tall. They're not very big. That's what makes them amazing. Is it's like they're so tiny. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, there's nobody in that. That's a real robot. That's what makes it fun. And the really cool thing is there were a couple of times where, because of the texture of the ground, they were losing their footing. So you got nervous for them a couple of times where, they're walking along and you can see them kind of stumble and kind of stutter step. And you're just like, don't fall, kind of thing. You don't want to see the little guy crash. And so, there's a wonderful, weird to say, but a human aspect to it. It's a tangible type of thing. And it's, I think I was talking to Eric Schwartz, who we hung out for a little while, and he was there while I was filming that. And I was telling him, I was like, people will book their vacations for the rides, right? Rise of Resistance, A New Land, it opens. That's what's going to have people book their vacations. But the memories are going to be of those little droids and their kids interacting with them. It's going to be the stormtroopers coming up and talking to the kids and stuff. Those are going to be the real memories. Those are the special things that you can't get anywhere else. And that's the difference. And that's why I said, I really hope that Disney can pay attention to this and realize that this is where if they want to capitalize on Star Wars, especially in the parks, that's where this land needs to go. It needs to get to those special moments with the characters, and it can't be very sporadic. It has to be, almost like flood the land and let it be. There's life at every turn. There's new characters, there's new aliens, there's new robots, all kinds of stuff. And like I said, it doesn't have to be the ones from the movies or the shows. Just give us really cool, fun stuff.
Yeah.
I'll get off my soapbox now.
They should have had Ewoks roaming through there.
Something like that. Yeah.
I know. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I hope I can catch them one of these times if I'm there. What was the latest time? Did you notice?
I don't know what the latest time was. I had a friend, EJ's Adventures, had let me know that he heard that it was going to be around 1:30, and they didn't come out until probably closer to 1:45-ish. So that was when we caught them. But I don't know if that's a set type of thing or if they, adjust each day just to throw people off and have it at different times so they don't get, swarmed at any certain time. But yeah, that was when we caught them, but I don't know how many times they come out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's literally probably about 20 minutes of the, walk over to the garage area, and then they kind of do a little thing there, and then they're off stage again.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm going on Wednesday, but me, I usually go at night. However, I'm going on Friday morning, so I'm hoping sometime Friday morning I'm going to be able to catch the little droids out there. That'd be awesome. Those BDX droids are amazing. So,
yeah, I definitely try to schmooze a cast member, and try to find out, hey, what's the schedule for the droids today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know that we're getting hounded by Hope because she wants to talk about about something important, and that is something that we're going to talk about next, which is Fire of the Rising Moons. So just for Hope, let's go ahead and talk about the intro for that. So during the Fire of the Rising Moons, villagers and visitors alike come together to celebrate their freedom and to honor the heroes and legends who came before them. As the skies over Batu light up in bursts of color, iconic music associated with tales from across the galaxy ignites our imagination. It's a powerful moment you won't want to miss. There you go, Hope. Yay. So with that, we do have some footage that Cordy shot last night of Fires of the Rising Moons that we want to share with you guys. So let's go ahead and share that. We'll play the little intro and then maybe we'll fast forward a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, and this is, of course, I wanted to see it from in front of the Falcon, right? The main viewing area. But they also have a spot set up by, why can't I think? The dark side over to the right? They have it.
Oh, by the First Order ship and
so
by
Kylo
Ren.
Set up over there. There's an area, and they have it kind of. They taped it off as we were standing there. It was a little awkward because people were still walking back and forth to smugglers, so they were trying to go through the crowds. And then there's also another area where I've watched fireworks from before all of this. Over by, I guess it would be the garage area, right? Where there's the land speeders, right? The little area over there. So they had an area taped off there, but that's a really nice place to watch fireworks from if you don't want to be, especially if you don't want to be in with all of the crowd, because you get a really good view, a sky view of the fireworks.
All right. Well, with that, let's go ahead and open this up for you guys and play Fire of the Rising Moons. And this is the intro part.
Smugglers and scoundrels, pirates and rogues, travelers and adventurers, welcome. My name is Johan Ledge, the Lore Weaver. In Black Spire, I found refuge and my home. And though I am long since gone, through my droid and friend Bard, my voice and my stories live on. Black Spire Outpost has a long and colorful history of heroes and legends, Jedi and Sith, royalty and resistance, those who would rule and those who refuse to bow. Here, we celebrate that fiery spirit tonight. Those with lights, raise them, and everyone, prepare to raise your voice. We honor the spirit of Black Spire, the fire of the rising moons. To those who would bring darkness, know this, now and ever, we bring the light to the spire.
So we fast forward just a little bit.
Yeah, it's I honestly I have to say, because I did watch this on a stream Saturday, but seeing it live it's a whole different experience. Like those gaps, like you kind of get like, oh no, did they can't even though we know from Wondrous we have those
Right.
gaps, but
So that's what I was going to say. For me, I like it, but it's like, number one, all that exposition at the beginning, they could have trimmed that. That we didn't need to know the guy's name and all this stuff. It's like just get to it. We get it. You don't need to do all of that. And which, if they would have done, played a little bit of music, and in that gap, use that to give your little spiel, much better.
Well, my whole thing is they're giving us a character we have no connection with, and we have no idea who this person is, really. And if we knew a lot more about them, or if they were a fan favorite, like, Luke Skywalker or something, like, then we'd be like, oh, okay, this is cool. We're hearing from one of our favorite characters, and boom, we're going to the show. That's kind of where I felt like it was missing in that spiel part.
yeah. But everybody wanted to raise those lightsabers when he said it.
Something like that. I was going to say
cool.
that is the fun stuff. That's what people want from Star Wars. That's the cool thing. But like I said, for me, it's like there's just again, they're shoehorning in something that wasn't built for what they're doing. So there's got to be a little bit of an understanding that, I get it. They're trying something, but at the same time, it's like I'm going to critique it the way, especially when it comes to fireworks. I am a big fireworks fan. I love the Disney fireworks shows. So when they do something like this, it's like, you know what? I'm going to get nitpicky. And I understand I'll probably be the only one complaining about certain things or looking at things a certain way. But that's just me. And you guys have all come to know that. And so I hope I'm not surprising anyone when I'm, taking those tiny little things that, people are like, I wouldn't even have noticed that at all. That's fine.
Well, why don't we finish watching the finale here, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more, because there's a few things I think that we all want to say. So,
yeah.
okay, so that is that.
So, Cordy, you were there live. Let's get your point of view, because you actually saw it live.
Like I said, it was a definitely different feel than watching it on the stream, right? Because how loud the fireworks can be, but with that music, it was kind of nice because it wasn't popping your ears with the fireworks, because you have the music instead. But I liked the flow of the soundtrack too. Like it kind of went, in sequence, right? You got the celebration, right? We've won, as it's going towards the finale. We did talk, because Brian Sivia was there, so we were kind of talking after, and he'd brought up, because I was like, oh, it's only, during Season of the Forest, and he was saying that Gustin had already, posted something about this is ongoing. Like, this isn't something that's gonna, go away after the Season of the Forest. So that's good to hear. And I know we've heard all the talk about, like, you know, I'm sure they'd love to have drones, like something like that. Somebody's even mentioned it in the chat, right? Like if you had, like, you know, drones, what was it, like starfighters, like, you know, just something, another element to it, which we know they could add. And I think I think Terry said that, you know, it's all new, right? They can kind of change things here and there, right? Get feedback and see where they can improve. And so I think I would hope, I'd like to think that they're always thinking of ways to, you know, improve these things. But I thought it was wonderful. It was really, really fun. It was fun being with, you know, all the people were excited in that area. And I think it's, regardless, having music with the fireworks, because we were seeing the fireworks anyway. So to me, it was just the point, like, oh, we've got music, so hey,
right,
a bonus. And hopefully that'll help spread out the people in the parks, you know.
Yeah.
Wondrous, I did notice at the castle that was a lot lighter. It was Sunday and it was a little bit of a lighter crowd in the evening, but it was lighter in front of the castle because people were trying to watch in Bayou. So.
Yeah, that was, I actually brought that up. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, because if this had turns into the place to watch the fireworks now, what does that do to the traffic patterns and everything that happened at the park? Because now you've got, and it's not a very big area that they have that are prime fireworks viewing areas in Bayou. So I was curious what would happen if everybody said, you know what, Bayou is the place to watch the fireworks now. That would have affected a lot, you know, going forward. Not to mention, it's like, okay, well, now what do you do? Because everybody wants to watch the fireworks over here. You know, do you adjust your show to match what's happening at Bayou, and then let the other show be the kind of goes with fireworks, sort of.
Yeah. And I think, just as a reminder, I'm sure everyone knows, but it is it's the same fireworks show. Like, nothing's different. Right. They added the music. So I know, you know, if you're feeling like it should be a little bit more, it's like it's shared. So, you know, I mean.
Well, that's why I'm curious what's going to happen when they shift to the Pixar Fest, because the fireworks show changes.
Right.
Well, you know, but I did look up a quick video of the previous Pixar fireworks, and they start with the same fan fireworks that come out at the very beginning. So it's still, but the will still work, at least at that part.
Before I give my 2 cents, GV559 says maybe they could have some characters out during the fireworks, or before or after. I think that would be great. They need to have more characters at night, I feel.
Yeah.
Gosh, man, there's so many things they could do with a fireworks show in Bayou to make it just amazing, cool. Obviously, it takes a lot of money, and but you know, hey, it's not my checkbook, right? Checkbook. You know, how old am I?
You know, I've seen the fireworks a lot over in Bayou before they, you know, had music, and I was always one of those people who said, hey, they had music here, it really, you know, make a difference. And it's funny because I haven't been there. I'm gonna, obviously, I'd like to go this week to see it, either Wednesday night and or on Friday night to go see it. And the thing is that now that I've seen the videos, now again, like Cordy said, it's different when you see it in person, but I kind of felt it was a little lackluster. It was like, okay, you've got fireworks that are happening, you know, at the same time of you know, Star Wars music. Star Wars music is great. I heard some people in social media this past weekend going, oh, it gave me the chills, you know. Yeah, the music is great, but the fireworks didn't go in sync with the music.
Right.
When you have Wondrous Journeys, those fireworks are going in sync. You know, when you have Pixar Fest, the fireworks are going in sync, etc. So if they had fireworks that were going more in sync, and I know that you've got 2 different shows that are going on, but to me, it just seemed like it was cool, but it wasn't as great as I hoped it would be. It's great hearing the music. I love hearing the music, the iconic music. You know, they played a lot of selections of the popular Star Wars music, but I just wasn't, you know, ooh and nod like I thought I was going to be, and I was so looking forward to this. And again, I'm going to go see it in person. I'm sure I'll maybe like it a little bit more seeing it in person.
Yeah.
But the other thing is too, the lighting on the rocks. They kind of did a little bit of lighting but why not change that lighting? Because the fireworks aren't going in sync, let the lighting go in sync. You know, something that just like, okay, this is cool. I like how they're doing that. Maybe even, you know, not to go cheesy, but, you know, have some lasers or something, you know, that would, you know, be a little more pizzazz there on the land to, you know, to make up for the fireworks not going in sync. If they had lights that went in sync, people probably wouldn't care about the fireworks not going in sync.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's so many ways that and this is the first weekend. You know, I saw people putting in the chat that, you know, maybe they're going to be listening to the feedback and making adjustments as they go, which is fine. And I hope they do, because there's, you know, it has to be more than just, you know, the really amazing Star Wars music and random fireworks going off.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were really going to do it right, they would have the Star Wars music, but they would turn it, and Fire of the Rising Moons is such a bitchin' name. That is a very, very cool name for a fireworks show, in my opinion. I think that is a perfect name for this, but it should have been something that centers around, you know, if you're going to have this guy at the beginning telling me that he's the lore master or whatever it is of Batu, work some of that into this show.
Yeah.
You know, have projections of, you know, symbols and stuff, and, you know, the warriors of blah 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 did this, and then, you know, right, and then you got some more fireworks going off, and then, you know, and then there was the battle of whatever, and give me something like that. You know, work it into a show that doesn't feel like we're going to just slap some John Williams music and shoot some fireworks. We're good. You know, that's where, like I said, I'm getting nitpicky, I know, but that's how I would have viewed this. I'm looking at it from the standpoint of, okay, it's a show. We're trying to do something. Don't go completely halfway with it. And that's what this feels like. It feels like they went halfway.
Yeah, because like I said, and you mentioned just now, it's that if during that lull where there's no fireworks, what if they had the lore master talking about those things? That would be kind of cool. Something interesting. They're still playing the music, you know, maybe lower the music a little bit, have the lore master tell you a story, or maybe it's a story we already know, or some stories, and, you know, the different battles and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, think about at the ending, if they talk about, you know, and then Luke Skywalker, you know, blah, 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 blah. And they go into that whole thing, and people would go nuts.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, look at the end of Wondrous, you know, when Pooh comes on and the narrator says, oh, but Pooh, you know,
right.
It's just the beginning. I mean, that's like, woo, I like it. Yeah, if Luke came out and said, you know, may the force be with you, or even that, I mean, people would probably go nuts. Paul knew it said
the money. It's they probably just wanted to do this is what we're doing, and let's go from there, because all of the points are valid. Like, I would even think, like, the projection part, in my opinion, I don't know if all that show should be in that area, just because I like the storytelling, because that, I don't know, something's kind of intrude on, if they're trying to keep this land, like, we're off planet, if they really want to keep that, we can't start in. I don't know. I just feel like you can't start doing.
Well, see, that's the thing that somebody brought that up too, that it's like, you know, why are they playing the Star Wars music from the movies when these people would never have heard that music?
Because we want it.
I know. I'm like, well, hold on a second, because do we know that they haven't heard this music? Because there's the whole medal, you know, the medal ceremony at the end of Star Wars, and they're playing music. So maybe,
but 2 is set in the First Order era, not in the, you know, past. So it's kind of like, really, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
people wanted it. I think they gave us what they gave us.
I mean, come on, and that's the thing. It's like, as much as, you know, I'm nitpicking, John Williams music, random fireworks, it's still going to be awesome because of it. You know, it's John Williams, Star Wars music, things exploding in the sky. You don't need much more than that. I'm just, like I said, I'm being nitpicky.
Well, and, you know, it's something that makes me wonder too, and I've been thinking about this for a while. So, you know how they got people to go over to Rivers America because of Fantasmic, you know, and that got people to go over there. And now they're doing fireworks over there too. You know, you do the projections of the fireworks, and you can still see them. It's great. You know, I'm sure that they're trying to do this. It's another outlet to put people in another section of the park. But I just hope that they take the time to take notes and improve. Like Paul M. Newitt just said, and I know I posted it up there, but perhaps an Imagineer or two are watching right now. Take notes. Well, good discussion, good chat. Again, I'm not trying to rip it. I haven't even seen it in person. I just think it's a great idea that wasn't well executed from what I can see. But hey, maybe I'll have a different opinion when I see it on Wednesday or Friday night, whenever I happen to see it. I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I want to see it in person. It's different than being in, watching it on video. It's like, like the Captain America show they had last year. I never saw it. I never got a chance to see it. Every time I went to go see it, I couldn't get in, but I saw it, and to me, it was okay. So,
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do from here, and if Star Wars Night, if they give us, if we get a surprise and they do something a little different, or if we get the same thing, because there's no official special fireworks for the event, right, that was posted. So I'm curious to see there. But yeah, I definitely think seeing it in person, then come back. So in 2 weeks, everybody come back and hear what Bob and Danny have to say.
Yeah, I'm hoping we get fireworks Wednesday night. I'm planning to be there Wednesday, so hopefully we can check it out.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Now we do have some merch. Do you guys want to talk about that?
Sure.
So this is the Disney store, and this is the merch they're coming out for May the 4th be with you. And also they're going to have some of the stuff during Season of the Force. So these are some of the artwork and shirts and magic bands and tumblers coming out. And I don't know if you guys have had a chance to go through and look at some of these, different artworks, designs, but Will Gay is the artist who's created this. I'm not a huge Will Gay fan when it comes to, his artwork for anything. I mean, it's okay. But I kind of feel like it's a little too cartoony for Star Wars. Even with the way C3PO looks, I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to rip it. There's some things that are really, really cool. Obviously, I love the glass picture that Will Gay created. That's really cool. I think that's really, really neat. So he does have some cool things. Obviously, the hoodie for women, I think, is
Can you
really
click on that pink hoodie? It wasn't there, but everybody was talking about it, and we were actually looking for it. Okay, yes, I do want it.
Yeah. To me, this is cool. Yeah. What, you were looking for it, Cordy?
Yeah. Who was trying to wait, someone's got to be in the chat. Who was trying to show me this? We were looking all over the Star Traders for it, and it may have been sold out already at that time. I think it was PJ, but that's cool. I like that.
See, to me, I mean, it's not bad. It's a little too cartoony for me, like a comic strip, I guess, for the artwork. But I mean, it's still cool. I mean, I know my daughter would love this. She would probably want to, I don't care if it's a hoodie for women. She would probably still want it and say, "Oh, it's pink and it's got my Star Wars characters on it. I want it." So
those are so cute. I have I was trying to find my Loungefly because I have the one. You know how like a few months ago, last year sometime, they kind of had that series, and I don't know if it was that popular, but I loved it where it was Leia and Luke and Han Solo. So. Yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, and then you got the Grogu backpack, which cute, and the lunch tote, and then you got the sling.
Yeah, that was actually surprising. The hoodie did not have Grogu on
it. Probably because it was set in the original trilogy time. It looked like. But these are some of the things they have. Now, the other, sorry. This is the men's hoodie right here. And then they also have a jacket for adults. Now, I think this could have been really, really cool. I mean, obviously, this is very much like, what you see when you go on to Rise of the Resistance. But, obviously with Darth Vader and the old Stormtroopers. Again, it's just not my type of style of artwork. Yeah. I think it's cool. It's a great, idea. I don't know,
it's not my style either.
Really? I'm kidding. I know.
If we have a chance to talk about the Tomorrowland merch,
we are.
That's
my
style.
I don't know if you can access that from here. I know it's in the app, but they had the exclusive merch too, with the bucket hat and the crossbody. That
let's see. I think it might be in here. Let's
yeah, I
check.
was gonna say I don't think it's on the Disney.
Oh, it's not on the blog
store, but it should be. It might be there. Not that stuff. Yeah, it's on our app. Like you have to go to the portal for the Season of the Force. They were doing mobile order back on the 3rd, right? They started the 3rd, and you could pick it up at.
So this is the Force and Telling Vader. He has 40 different responses to yes or no questions. You just push his head for your fortune. So I thought that's kind of cute and interesting. Of course, you've got your Star Wars inspired accessories collection with the Citizens Imperial Stormtrooper watch and jacket. And that's a EcoDrive technology watch. I'm not sure about that jacket. And then, of course, you've got the Micro Squadron Gungan Bongo submarine and the Micro Galaxy Squadron N1 Starfighter figures from Jazzwares, which is, and I'll go to it real quick. So it's the Micro Galaxy stuff that you can purchase. I was never really into the micro stuff or the micro machines. Oops, sorry. I meant to share this tab, but this is it. And then going back to this tab. Now I thought this is interesting. This is your Darth Vader and Stormtrooper, the old Stormtrooper, inspired holiday animatronics. So he's got a candy cane lightsaber, Darth Vader does, with a Death Star ornament, right? And then you've got your Stormtrooper holding a candy cane as a gun with a Santa hat on. And these are the Darth Vader standing at 7 feet and 6 feet for the Stormtrooper. And they're interchangeable accessories for Halloween, Christmas. They have lifelike movements, seasonal sayings, sound effects, and more. So interesting. And then you got your available soon at the Disney Store, the Sith Apprentice Darth Maul Legacy lightsaber set. That'll be coming out. And it's launching on May the 4th. And of course, you got the new Star Wars Icons Vader book that's coming out. And this book is actually going to talk about the character's journey from his genesis and George Lucas's first draft of Star Wars to Anakin's tragic fall to the dark side in the prequel trilogy and beyond. So, that's it, huh? You know what? I would have thought. You know, let me look for what you were talking about real quick.
I'm trying to see if it was somewhere else too.
What was it on the Disney blog or no? Was it just?
I think I saw it on the app. Is
just the app?
Originally saw it, but it has to be out there. Season of the Force. Exclusive merch.
You know, it's funny when I type in Season of the Force, nothing comes up except for the Fire of the Rising Moons. What the heck?
Yeah, maybe it is just on the app. But I will say the crossbody I have not seen yet because Brian had the bucket hat, but he actually bought it in Star Traders. Like I said, you could mobile order it 2 days prior to the whole event starting. But
and that was the new style, though. Is it Will Gay? It's that bucket hat.
I think so.
Here's a bucket hat.
The black one.
Wait. Yeah. Did you want to see that? I found.
Yeah, because it's like.
Hold on. Let me bring up this page real quick.
All right, while you're doing that, I'm going to announce to all 3 of our chats real quick. Our good friend, the Rogue Attraction, is 2 subscribers away from 3,000. So if we could just go ahead and go and push him over that little edge real quick for us, that'd be awesome.
Yep. The Rogue Attraction is a good friend of the channel, and we'd love to see him reach his 3,000 sub tonight. That would be awesome. Okay, so this
I'd like to be able to say that, I helped him get there.
Of course.
In fact, I'm going to go unsub and then resub so I could be number 3,000.
There's the cylinders that Theme Park Casual was talking about earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you didn't even bring that up yet. Should we? Well, let's go back. Hold on.
I was going to say, just let's finish the merch and stuff like that, and then we'll come back to the.
So here we have the
game.
merch. This is the bucket hat that we were talking about right here. That's a Star Tour shirt. That's a lot of ink for a shirt. Oh, is that only? Those are the only things are showing
on there. Well, Good Vibes brought up the Tomorrowland ears. I know we're talking Star Wars, but I just have to say, me too. I want those ears.
Tomorrowland, everything in Tomorrowland is awesome. That new merchandise. So
yeah, it's got that retro look. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, I bought the socks, but I kind of had to because I went on Grizzly River Rapids the other night.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, I don't see it there, Cordy, but Theme Park Casual, you want to talk about the Seek and Find?
Yeah. So an interesting little Rogue Attraction is at 3,000 subscribers. So congrats, buddy. We got you there.
Congratulations, Rogue Attraction.
All right. So we always talk about how Disney, everything seems to cost an arm and a leg at Disney. So what do? They do something for free, and it's actually kind of fun.
I'm sorry. Did you say free?
For free. Exactly. Everybody knows that you guys have watched Barry Place. He's done the Easter egg hunts at Downtown Disney and through the two parks. Well, they've got something similar like that for Season of the Force, and it is this thing. You come and get this little card, this little sheet, and it's got a map on it, and then an area for you to fill out. But what you do is you pick it up at Star Trader, and then you take it over to Galaxy's Edge, and hidden in plain sight, most of them, are canisters at the little spots that are marked on the map. And it's your job to go and find all the canisters, and each canister has a couple of the Arabesh lettering markings on them. And you write them down, and you note which canister had what markings. And then once you have found all 6 canisters, have your markings all taken care of, you go back to Tomorrowland, and there are signs posted throughout Tomorrowland that decode all the markings that you found that were on the canisters. And when you break the code, you rearrange the letters down here to spell out a word. And then you take that completed card back to Star Trader. And once they verify that you do have it correct, they stamp your card, and then they give you a trading card. This one currently is Chewbacca, and on the back it has the Orabesh alphabet. And so they're going to be doing 3 of these at least, that I can tell, because each one of the signs in Tomorrowland has 3 possible decoding options. So that leads me to believe that they're doing at least 3. I don't know if they're going to mix and match at that point to where they can, have additional ones. But the cast members said that every 2 weeks or so, they're going to be switching out, and it'll be a new card. So, but again, this is completely free. There's no cost to it. It's not like the egg hunt where you have to pay, $10 or whatever per. And it's actually kind of fun because the canisters are not like the Easter eggs where they're big, bright, and, out in the open, and you can spot it just by walking by. Some of these canisters, one of them I had to ask the cast member, is it over here? Is it over that way? And she says, you might want to look up. And so we started scanning around and finally were able to find it. So like I said, for me, I'm just glad that they did something that's free, that's fun, and you actually get something that's kind of collectible. I'm going to give Disney kudos for that, because normally they would put something like this behind a paywall and, make it to where you got to fork out a little bit more money. But nope, this was completely free. Like I said, I had actually kind of had fun searching for the canisters, because they're not the easiest things to find in every single spot. So it's really, really fun. I definitely recommend you guys giving it a shot and seeing if you can find all the canisters.
Sounds
not to mention, I'm going to be trying to catch an extra set of cards. So I've got 2 right now. I'm going to try to do a set for me and then a set to give away.
And I know we're just kind of zipping through some of these things here, but just to quickly go through, and not to plug what I did last week, but if you want to see all the foods for Season of the Forest, I did. There is a video on my channel where we went through the entire foodie guide. So if you want to see that, kind of go through each one.
Yeah, definitely. We didn't even get to talk about the food. In fact, there was one I saw somebody posted. There's chicken bao.
Oh, we had. Oh my gosh! I think we tried. Just quickly, I got to try the Banter burger at Galactic Grill.
Yeah, I caught you when you were trying the burger, and you were saying that it was kind of spicy.
It is very spicy.
Okay.
But I like that. And
is that the 50-50 burger?
Huh?
Is that the 50-50 burger? 50-50.
Oh, I don't know.
That's the Bantha burger. That's what
okay.
It's called. I don't know if it's 50-50.
50-50 what?
Like half buffalo meat, half beef, something like that.
Oh, I think it was like beef and vegetable, because that's what it said. It said, Angus beef and vegetable burger. So, and then it had. I think it's the ham. Like the Ronto roast wrap. Ronto roast wrap. It's got that ham piece in it or something.
Oh yeah.
The mystery meat. And also pork belly. So mine was really fresh. It was well made. It was freezing cold and windy, so it got cold like the minute I took it off the counter. So that was kind of the bummer. And then I also, and I don't think Michael's in here, but Michael is the one who actually ordered everything. Michael tomorrow, so we got to try those. They have the Phyrexian fries, I think it's called, like the waffle fries. It tasted a lot like, but it had pork chorizo, but it was like they had these loaded fries at Paradise Garden Grill with the same like cheese sauce. So it was kind of reminiscent of that, but I thought those were good. I didn't try the slushies. But Cowgirl said those were both very good. They have a watermelon slushie and a Granny Smith apple slushie, and you get a Death Star glow cube in one and a Millennium Falcon in the other. So that's kind of cool.
Nice.
And we didn't have desserts, but yeah, they have that too.
Nintendo Game Dude said, Cordy, the video was helpful. The chicken baos were my favorite. The burger was too spicy. LOL.
Yeah, the chicken bao, I think we had mixed reviews on that. That's over at Docking Bay 7. But we tried the chicken bao, so CL was there. And I think, Devin wasn't a fan of those. Him and his bows. So it was like, I wasn't a fan of those. And then there were all. Are the
bao very spicy or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
Then I will try them.
Yeah, it was just whatever with the flavor profile. It just wasn't for everybody. But they also had a noodle dish, and I thought that was really good. And then there's a new punch over at Ronto Roasters that we tried as well.
What is this? Devin threw it on the floor. What's that?
He was just trying to improve the flavor.
Yes. Yeah. So it was. It's a good little mix. And then with that, if we want to lead into that, that we've got sippers and popcorn buckets galore, a plethora, if you will, of merch you can buy. And Theme Park Casual has one coming his way that Devin picked up. CL and Devin picked up, but we got one here just so we can show you. And I love him so much.
Does he make any noises when you open his mouth?
Oh, wait, I shut him on. Sorry.
Oh.
Did he close his mouth?
God.
Wow, Cordy. Excuse you.
No.
Oh, that's funny.
And then this guy, now I forgot his name. I didn't unwrap him yet.
That's Salacious Crumb.
Salacious Crumb. Yes, I love that name. It sounds like a band name. So there's that guy, and then
Jetta says, "Imagine hearing that in the middle of the night."
Our cat hates it. She's so scared of it. As soon as she doesn't want to look at it. And then this is the other popcorn bucket that they have. Oops, wrong one.
Falcon.
The Millennium Falcon. So it's a little bit different because they had the white one. Remember, like it was just kind of plain white, wasn't too fancy before. So there's a little more detail, and but you really can't open it. So there's your popcorn.
I like the old one because it has the old radar on it. Oh, did I say that?
Nope.
And then it lights up. Yeah, but does it light up? I don't think so.
Yeah, it doesn't light up.
The old one lit up. Hey.
So yeah, so these were both at Galactic Grill, but they also had them at the popcorn stand. But these you could mobile order, and there were lots of people, resellers, with duffel bags going and picking up because it's 2 per person per order.
Oh,
so you could place 10 orders.
Yeah.
Let them stop even come out, which was kind of a bummer. But yeah, I did get the sippers though.
Which sippers do they have?
They have Darth Vader, like his helmet,
Okay.
and then the Grogu one that we've seen before.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the other one, there's the Stormtrooper helmet that's coming out on the 4th.
Yeah.
That's a popcorn.
Nice.
Bucket. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to pick one up for the Rogue Attraction, and he just discovered that it has the sounds. He didn't know it made all the Jabba noises. So he's like, "Ooh!"
It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So I mean, there's just so much more. So like I said, if you want to spend time to actually watch and go through each of those, it's there. But
yeah, definitely go to, if you want to check out all the foods and everything, go to Cordy's channel. She did a podcast with it, so she went through everything, and plus then in her live stream tried a bunch of the foods. So definitely go to her channel and check those out if you want to get some of the deets on that.
Absolutely. By the way, Paul says maybe the Sarlacc bucket has popcorn that takes 500 years to digest. Too funny. All right. So I know we have a lot more to talk about.
Well, I think we've done a lot of talking about Star Wars and what's going on there, and we'll be covering it. Right, we got Star Wars Night coming up, so there's plenty more for us to talk about in future podcasts. But we wanted to talk about at least a little bit about the Avatar, right? The latest on the Avatar rumors and.
Yep. So last week, after Disney had their board meeting, we had Bob Iger come out and talk about the Avatar experience, and they showed a new concept art. Again, it's just concept, but let's go ahead and share this with you so you guys can actually see the concept art that was shared. So this is it. It's a little big, so we have to scroll down just a little bit. Don't miss too much. But from what you can see here, you've got people walking along a pathway. They're looking off to, you see, looks like some of the animals, creatures down below, like on the beach area. It looks like they have a water ride here, right? You got people in a boat. They're about ready to go under a bridge towards the waterfalls. It looks like there's another maybe attraction or something like that in the background over there. So there's a lot going on in this picture, obviously. But this, again, is just a concept art. It's very cool. I like the way it looks. I think this would be really neat. But where the heck are they going to put this thing? That's the question, And I know there's rumor and speculation as to, what they're going to do. There's been some other content creators out there saying, "Oh, well, they're going to put it where Hollywood land is and over there at DCA, and they're also going to get rid of where the buses come in, and they'll put it over there once they build the new parking structure." And other people said, "No, it's going to be more towards the what is that, the Grizzly River area, and the what is that called right next to it? I can't think of it.
Redwood Creek.
Redwood Creek. Thank you. And then some people said, no, they're probably just going to wait until, Disneyland Forward and put it over there on the other side where, the downtown Disney parking lot for Simba is, and etc. So there's a lot of rumor, speculation. Who knows what they're going to do and where they're going to put this. I don't know about you guys, but I think this is a pretty cool rendering. But we all know what happens when we see renderings like this. I remember there's something called Tiana's Bayou Adventure that looked very cool when it first came out. And now it looks totally different.
Yeah, that's the main thing. It's like, this is concept art, and even the words that Bob Iger spoke said a possible Avatar experience coming to Disneyland.
Right.
So can I ask you guys a question? I'm curious. So I didn't watch any Avatar until I had lots of time on my hand a few years ago, right? When we all had more time on our hands. That was the very first time I ever watched it. Beautiful movie. And this looks beautiful too. But we were having a conversation about this a couple of days ago, but it was like, is it relevant? I don't know. Like, is it relevant? I know it's a blockbuster, but mostly overseas, right? Like it's big here too, but it's not as big as it is overseas. Like, is it just so we can have this beautiful land? I don't know. To me, I'm like,
yeah. Well, the only thing I can say to that is everybody had those same thoughts when they put Pandora in at Animal Kingdom. But
it's Animal Kingdom. That's so cool there.
The land is a hit as far as visually stunning when people walk in and explore it. The attractions, one is what some people consider one of the greatest attractions ever made. The other one is a ride that people say we waited an hour for that. So it's one of those weird things where, again, this is one of the curses that we're living under with Harry Potter Land. Harry Potter Land was a very, very special phenomenon. And the fact that they were able to create this land that every single part of it lived and breathed that universe, that franchise, all the way down to the shops and the restaurants and the attractions, everything worked. Disney has been trying to replicate that, trying to capture their own Harry Potter land that lives and breathes and has that universe all self-contained. And once you step in, you are just immersed in it from head to toe. Pandora does that to an extent, but does anybody go to Pandora and think, oh man, I want to eat what they had in the movie? They don't. Is there anything that you go to Pandora and go, I got to get that thing that they had in the movie because I want to take it home and put it on? Nobody does.
Yeah,
that.
the Banshee.
And that flopped. And that's the whole thing. It's like Harry Potter Land was a shift in the industry. And for me, it's worrisome because we're getting away from being able to have a fantastic land where Pinocchio and Alice in Wonderland and Casey Jr. can all live together and it all makes sense because it was thoughtfully done. A land where you can have Indiana Jones, the Jungle Cruise, the Tiki Room, and Bengal Barbecue and Tropical Hideaway, and they all live together and it makes sense and it doesn't feel like anything is out of place. Whereas now they're all building, Cars Land, as spectacular as Cars Land is, as jaw-dropping, and as much as I praise it, I don't go into Cars Land thinking, oh, I can't wait to drink a can of oil the way they did in the movie. That's what Harry Potter does, though. Yeah. Harry Potter Land has you going, I want to get a butterbeer. I want to go eat at the Three Broomsticks. I want to go to the candy shop. I want to go get my house cloak and socks and bandana and hat and this and that, all for the house that I belong to, right? Disney is trying to capture that, and they've been very hit and miss with whether they've been able to do it or not. And that's why Galaxy's Edge, if they can pull it out there's the potential that it could do something similar. Not quite. I don't think it's going to quite have the same effect that Harry Potter Land did, but it's close. Especially, like I said, once you saw all those characters walking around, there was a different life in the area. So there's the potential. But yeah, these lands that are beautiful and amazing, it's just, I really wish they would get away from trying to create these lands based on a single franchise like the way they are, because it's very limiting. And like Cordy said, if I have no attachment to Avatar, I'm going to go through, it's pretty, and I'm going to kind of walk through and walk out. And I don't think that there's the potential for it to do like Harry Potter Land does. And Harry Potter Land, I've only seen one movie, never read any of the books, have no interest in it. But when I went to Hogsmeade, yeah, see, I don't even know the name. I always call it Harry Potter Land. When I went in Universal for the first time, I was blown away. I was enthralled. I wanted to explore every part of that land. I wanted to go through it. I was like so bummed that I only had the one day and was with a group of people and we had to keep moving, because I probably would have stayed in there for hours. And I just don't know how any other franchise can do that. It's just such a strange phenomenon. And I really wish Disney would get away from that and go back to doing what Disney did well, and giving us a theme and then letting a bunch of different stories live in there. So
yeah,
as far as Avatar goes, I think this is part of Disneyland Forward. I think it's going to be going in the area near the hotels. I don't think it's going to take over anything new or replace anything in the current parks.
I think so too. I mean, we in 2 weeks we're going to be talking a lot about this in our next Park Streamers Hangout, because the Anaheim City Council is going to be voting on Disneyland Forward, and it's going to be interesting to hear what they vote on. Because if they do say yes, I think we're going to hear a heck of a lot more leading up to D23, a lot of D23, and then a lot after regarding what some of their plans are and what they're planning on doing. I was trying to get hold of Winks earlier today to see if he'd gotten one of the Disneyland Forward flyers. Apparently a new flyer has gone out to the neighbors who are on the backside of the Disneyland Hotel. And apparently, because I talked to one of them, I didn't get to see it. He didn't have it with him, but he said a new flyer went out from Disney to all the neighbors talking about them putting in a third park and what would that mean for them and for the city of Anaheim and Disneyland. But there was no major details about it, but they were talking about building a third park, which I thought was interesting, because the whole point I thought with Disneyland Forward, basically, for at least the media plans, was to just put in continue Disneyland and DCA over to the other side, unless maybe they are talking about making a whole new park out of the property they have for where the parking lots are for Stitch parking lot in Simba for Downtown Disney employees, as well as for Downtown Disney itself. So we'll have to wait and see. And going back, I know that I think Alan had mentioned that this doesn't look like the forest that's in the movie, but this is really focusing on the second movie and the ocean. And so I don't think they're really focusing on the forest part. They're focusing on more of the way of water areas in this concept art. But again, it's just concept art. So we'll see what happens when they do announce something. So
yeah. And hopefully it is, that they give us something different than what's in Florida. I really dislike when they just do carbon copies of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, certain rides like Minnie's and Mickey's Runaway Railway, that's fine to me. But if you're going to build a land, that's a ride. You're going to build a land, and again, here's the interesting thing: Bob Iger keeps saying it's a Avatar experience, but if you look at this concept art, it says Avatar land concept art. So it's like, is it going to be a land, or is it going to be experience, or is it going to be all of the above? Who knows? Yeah. But you're looking at a pretty sizable, piece of acreage here just to put this in.
If it was where the hotels are, if it was something like that, where it was a part of the resort, I would feel better about that. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's actually a good thing that you brought that up, because we don't know exactly what they're intending by all of this. Mm-hmm. And if you think about it, there's a lot that hinges on what Epic Universe does. Because if Epic Universe pulls off what they're planning, which is have a park that can have sections that are closed off at different times and at different points, and possibly have a flexible rate for the park, depending on what's open and what's closed.
Wow.
Right.
Disney could take that model into what they're doing now and say, yeah, we've got an Avatar land. It's, $45 to add it on, and you can go to Avatar land.
Ooh.
And they can use that, as a separate little thing that's off to the side, that's mixed in with the hotels, and becomes a, I wouldn't even call it a boutique park. It just becomes this experience.
Mm-hmm.
So they could be doing things like that. And
trying to
the rezoning, well, and that's just it. With the rezoning that they would have the entire area over where the hotels and parking lots are, plus over where the Toy Story parking lot is, to play with these intermixed types of areas, so that it's not necessarily a full-blown park. It's these isolated little experiences that they can charge one-offs on. So depending on, like I said, I think they're possibly watching what Epic Universe does, and if that's a successful model, they may try to emulate it over here with the land that they, with this very little bit of land that they have left for Disneyland, and try to capitalize on it and get the most out of it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, Alan says water park resort. I'm broke, but I'm sold.
Patricia said Avatar has a lot of potential to be something amazing if it comes down to the Imagineers, what they come out with to really wow the people. And then again, she enjoyed Avatar, but not part 2 so much. But yep, very true, Patricia. All right.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I think the topic that some have experienced and some have not, so we'll feel your pain with you. D23 and tickets.
That's it. I'm leaving. I can't talk about
You have to share your story.
Did you get, by the way, I think we might have talked about it. Did you get tickets to D23?
I did not.
I didn't.
No, Cordy, sorry.
No.
No. All right. And I know you weren't trying for it, Theme Park Casual. So that leaves me.
Yep.
So let me share with you my experience of what it was like to do this whole D23 ticket purchase experience. So when I first joined, I joined a half hour before we could actually, or actually they were selling tickets 12 noon. And when they started at 12 noon, you get put into a random, I don't know what you call it, just a random number. So you can see on the screen here, I know it's kind of hard. Actually, let me see if I can blow this up real quick and just go to the actual screen. Doesn't help too much, but I'm going to blow it up on my screen here. So you can see I was 3,300 person in line. And at 1:06 p.m., according to my phone here, my little guy is walking across the screen. And by the way, this is where it was at 1:06. At 12:38 p.m. was the last message that they'd sent me saying that, we're currently aware of technical issues. So I wasn't sure what the heck was going on. So I called Theme Park Casual and says, what's going on? I'm trying to get these tickets and it's ridiculous. And he said, yeah, apparently there's something wrong with the date of purchase. So I just waited in line patiently. And of course, this is 1:06. And then at 1:23 p.m., wow, my guy just flew across the screen. And I was getting close to actually, purchasing those tickets for this event. And then when it was finally my time, I got this. Unable to proceed, you're unable to access the checkout process in most cases. This happens due to one of the following actions. You tried to skip the queue and directly access the checkout process. You're attempting to use someone else's place in the queue, which neither one of them I was doing, or you've already been through the checkout process and are now trying to go through again. None of these actions are permitted. If you feel that you're seeing this page for other reasons, please click the re-enter the queue button below. There, just please try another browser or clear your cookies. So the thing is, if you happen to, close a page and then go back in with your login, it's supposed to just continue from where you left off. Well, that wasn't the case at all. And the next thing you know, I get this message right afterwards saying, "Oh, confirm your email address. Confirmation has been sent to your email. Please check your email and follow the link to your account." So I went ahead and I went to my email. This is the email that I got from them. Confirm account connection. So please follow the link to complete the account connection. Once I clicked on this link, then it took me to the page to purchase. Now, before we even get to this part, I'm gonna go back. I actually was trying to enter the tickets, and I decided I was going to try for Friday, Saturday, and that's what I was going to do. Well, I put the tickets in the cart, and I go in there, and they're like, "Oh, do you want to purchase the backpack and all these other things?" And I was like, "Nah, okay, maybe I'll get something for myself and my daughter because we were going to go together on Saturday, and then I was going to go on Friday." Well, as soon as I tried to go to the cart to purchase tickets, it kicked me out, said I had nothing in the cart, and I had to start over from scratch. Let me try it again. So I tried it again. Same thing happened. Tried it again. I must have tried about 4 or 5 times. By this time, I'm getting really, really frustrated. Oh, the other thing is that, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So once I just decided, I'm just going to try to do it real quick. I will leave Friday out. I'm not even going to go to the Honda Center to purchase the event or the program at night. I'm just trying for one day for me and my daughter, and that's it. Threw the tickets in my cart, went there real quick, tried to purchase them, and it says, "Oh, you can't purchase these because you can't purchase them until August 7th. August 7th? What are you talking about?" And this is what Danny was talking about, is that apparently someone from Disney had put the wrong date of purchase, and so you couldn't purchase the ticket. So I got that error message. And so I was like, well, this is ridiculous. So after I finally got it in one more time, I was able to purchase the tickets. I don't know how, but I got it through. And then once I got through, remember, I bought tickets for Saturday, right? I got a confirmation saying I got tickets for Friday, August 9th at 12 p.m. So I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I cannot believe this. So sure enough, I went to my email, and my email also, was it my email? Yes. My email said that I had confirmation for Friday, August 9th. Then when I click on that link, and it took me to the webpage and I actually got to see what I had purchased, it said Saturday. So there was a lot of issues with purchasing the tickets for D23. I can definitely say it was the most difficult thing I've ever tried to do. I thought it would be, fairly simple and easy, and it was not. It was probably about an hour and 41 minutes of, well, let's just say it wasn't a lot of fun, going through the process. And it's really disappointing because this is not the first time Disney has had issues with, trying to sell tickets to an event, and it seems like lately, things like Oogie Boogie, et cetera, they've had issues. So I was disappointed. I'm glad I finally got a ticket for my daughter and I to go on Saturday, but I feel like I'm missing out on some of the things I really want to do because I was trying to just get through the process of purchasing these tickets. So that was my experience. What questions, comments, or sarcastic remarks do you
I know. Did anyone out there try to get tickets?
I can't believe that their IT is still having these kinds of problems. I mean, this is just, it's like it's never ending with them for some reason. You would think that with all of the after hours and special ticket events that they'd have it running decently smooth. Not to say that things can't happen, but it just seems like every single time it's just some sort of weird thing that nearly turns into a fiasco for everybody.
This is my first time going to D23, and to me, the whole process was so painful. I was like, I know it's not for another 2 years, but I really want to go through that again, And obviously, we'll see how it goes. And Ariel, my daughter, has not been through this before. She's going to experience D23, so that'll be really cool. But I just was really disappointed that it was not a better experience, and it wasn't, like you said, how many times do they sell magic keys? How many times they sell special event tickets? How many times do they do things where they should have this down. And I get it. People make mistakes, things happen, but this was a lot of mistakes, and it was very, very painful to go through the process.
Yeah, that's I heard other stories too, and it was quite not a pleasant experience. So hopefully they get it figured out. But yeah, we've seen it with other things, so it's just a shame. But I think we're coming up on a 9:45 now, so pretty packed show. I think if there's nothing else, we could open it up for questions from the chat.
Sounds good.
Yeah, take a few questions real quick if anybody's got some.
I know earlier, I think it was Sea Flights was asking about dining packages for Phantasmic, and we haven't seen anything yet. So we're watching. We're watching for those. So my thought is May 24th is supposed to be when Phantasmic comes back. Maybe they're not so sure, right? They're not like, it's not concrete yet that it's actually coming back on that day. So maybe that's why they're holding off. But yeah, nothing has popped up for any of the restaurants.
That's interesting.
All right. So if you guys have any questions, throw them in the chat, and we'll be happy to read them and try to answer them for you.
Poor Jordy. He says, sure, blame the IT people.
What about all the users that do weird stuff that the IT possibly can't predict?
That's too funny.
Brian Sevilla says, not a question, but a thought on the Star Wars fireworks show. How cool would it be if they were able to use drones for the fireworks show in Galaxy's Edge? I agree. I mean, and I think the drones actually is something that they could have during the day and just have them like cruise by behind the spires every now and then. You just little, you know, and just have them. That's part of what that land needs. They need those kinds of things that are unique and just add life and movement. So, yeah, it's like I said, they just being there with the characters, the robots, all that stuff. It gives me hope that maybe they're going to figure it out. You know, hearing that they've got the music for fireworks leads me to believe that, you know what, they may say, okay, that worked pretty good, but I think we can make it even better. And they're going to try something, you know, a little more impressive in the future. So
Christmas or Halloween better for Disneyland? Rogue Attraction asks.
I'd go Christmas. I'd have to say Christmas is better. Christmas,
Halloween's
you get
pretty cool though. Halloween it's very
you got to go to Oogie Boogie though in order to get the full experience because there's really not a lot at Halloween.
But at DCA.
Yeah, it's very cool. I got to admit, Cars Land at Halloween is fun. It's really cool. But again, I think you need Oogie Boogie to really finish it off because Oogie Boogie, as much as I'm a hater on the after hours, the hard ticket event, that one I forgive it because Halloween events have been like that. You know, it's like, okay, it's after dark, things take on a different air. There's a little bit of, you know, party atmosphere going on. So I'm okay with that one. And I have to say, I was very impressed with Oogie Boogie last year.
And Theme Park Casual is not joking because he overheard us on the stream when Devin said, "Oh, they could just put Avatar Land right here at Redwood Creek Challenge," and me and Sal were like, "No, what about?"
Exactly, Villains Grove. Villains Grove. If you,
exactly.
Yeah, gosh, it is just that is something else. I'm dying to go and try to, you know, get a meeting with Knott's and tell them, okay, this is what you guys got to do. You've got to do a Villains Grove, but super, super dark and eerie and creepy and make it, you know, but just go mood. Don't worry about the slasher. Don't worry about the blood and gore and everything. Like, just give us something where you're walking through and it's just got this mood that's just, you know, weighing down on you that it's so thick. Here I am again, just gushing over Villains Grove. I cannot tell you guys how impressed. I mean, I go back and I watch my own video because I'm just like, oh my God, that was so good. It was so fun, so amazing to go through it. So yeah, Gosh, now that you bring that up, I'm kind of like, yeah, I know which one is it, Halloween or Christmas? Halloween or Christmas?
Yeah, I guess
I think I'd still have to.
Yeah.
I think I'd still have to go Christmas. I'd still have to go Christmas. I think the fireworks show is better at Christmas. You've got the parade,
Yeah.
and there's just so much more. Oh, and it's a small world.
Yeah. Holiday.
So I think Christmas edges out Halloween.
Paul says, I think all the Disneyland streamers should have their own little convention. And zombies, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Did you turn it off and on? I don't know what you're
When
talking
you were having trouble with your tickets.
With all the tickets, you should
just
yeah, no kidding.
Bang it on the desk a couple of times and
too funny. All right, let's see. What other questions do we have here?
Rogue mentions that they had X-Wing drones in Walt Disney World for a bit pre-pandemic.
Nintendo Game Dude says, do you think the number of celebrations throughout the year at the Disneyland Resort for both DCA and Disneyland are enough? Would you add anything, replace anything? Good question.
That's a good question.
Celebrations meaning like that, like Christmas, Halloween?
Maybe that.
Pixar Fest,
or those things
Lunar
too,
New Year. You've got Lunar New Year. You've got.
I feel like it's been a pretty steady stream of events. Like one ends and another one starts for the most part.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
So what are your thoughts? Do you think it's too many? Do you think it's too many? Should they, eliminate something?
Well,
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't have a feeling one way or another. I mean, I love the festivals, but it's like, I don't know.
I will say sometimes it feels like they go from one thing to the next a little too quickly. Like it felt like we went from Lunar New Year to the Food and Wine Festival a little too fast. You know, it would be nice to have a little break between the food festivals. I don't know.
Yeah, because it does feel like at times you don't get to experience the parks as just the parks.
Right. Well, not only that, but I almost feel like, and I know that they have limited events, right? But, we got done having Sweethearts events, and that was, several weeks. And then we had, the Disney Channel night, which is only 1 week. And then now we have Star Wars. It's going to be several weeks. It almost feels like we have so many events where the park's closing early, especially, one of the parks. Well, they're both closing early. And for me, I know I love staying as late as possible, till midnight. And when they're closing Disneyland early, I wish they would just keep DCA open or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's been a common theme there is, if we're closing, especially during Sweethearts night, because they were already closing early, right? Because it was kind of the off-peak hours. Or time. So DCA was closing very early. And of course, Disneyland was closing at 8. So yeah, I wish they could offset that and give us a little more DCA time.
Oh, I like this one too. They should have those old school 3D glasses, blue and red ones for the Star Wars fireworks, kind of mix it up. Or instead of just those, how about the ones that they have for like Christmas where, everything, all the lights become like snowflakes? What if they did something like that with, I don't know, something Star Wars-ish, that'd be kind of cool.
Every little burst, it's TIE fighters coming at you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Let's see. So Rogue Attractions asking how many mall sabers are they releasing? I know it was 1,500 for May the 4th drop last year. You know what? I think I closed that page. Hold on. Let me go back. No, I closed the page. I want to say I thought it was the same. It was only like 1,500 or something like that. Let's see. Anything else? I don't see any other questions right offhand. But I do want to say, real quick that we really appreciate everyone donating to the Chalk Walk, and the Chalk Walk has been amazing as far as gaining donations. And so to everyone that's donated, or shared our link, thank you so much. We are amazed because we have upped our goal twice, and we're probably gonna have to up it again because you guys are so amazing. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. This was kind of a off the cuff sort of a thing that we thought of, and it's kind of taken off, and it's going to be amazing to see where it ends up. So
yeah, we're already at 3,495 of our $5,000 goal. So I just want to say thank you, everyone. Amazing.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And it's not even until July, so we have a lot of time in between now and then to raise more money for them.
And any donation helps, guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. I think we've got all of those covered. So thank you all again for joining us tonight on another episode of the Park Streamers Hangout. And we'll go around the horn one more time. Theme Park Casual, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Theme Park Casual. I'm planning to be in the park hopefully Wednesday night this week. That'll be my next live stream.
All right, perfect. And Barry Plays 28.
You guys find me on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram, all at Barry Plays 28. I am planning on streaming on Wednesday as well at Disneyland, and then I've got quite a few streams I'm doing this week, so I'll be there Friday morning and possibly Friday evening, and then I'll be streaming again. I think we're going to do a surprise trivia night on Sunday night with my little one. She wants to be involved, and then I'll be back again on Monday at Disneyland, so I got quite a few streams coming up here.
Great. Perfect. CORDY in California on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and what's the other one? Is that it? I think that's
you have
it.
so many.
And I think I'm going to be there tomorrow, and then Wednesday, and then Friday, and then Sunday, of course. Gotta go Sundays.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you all again for joining us tonight, and we are signing off, so we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Good night, kids.
We hope you enjoyed our amazing show tonight. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next Park Streamers Hangout. Have a good night, everyone.